What is up, guys? A very good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook. Hope you had a fantastic night of sleep. Euro dollar, pound dollar, gold, all of these major pairs are going to be discussed. So let's dive straight in. Starting off with euro dollar. Euro dollar is pushing in towards the highs still. As we can clearly see yesterday, what we did is that we came back in towards that area of demand which we were looking at. Obviously, we had that fractal break of this high over here. Then we expect a pullback. We pull back in towards this demand zone, and from there we start moving out again. Now, the first real test for euro dollar is incoming because we have now reached this area of supply. So this is supply zone number 1. This is supply zone number 2, from where we could potentially see some downside. So if I did, let's say, expect for the market just to rally in towards the highs and follow the overall daily trend, which is from this swing low in towards this swing high, and which is also the 4-hour swing trend, then I would have liked to see more impulsive price action from euro dollar. So when you kind of get this messy and choppy price action, like we, for example, had over here, which is ascending, more times than not, you will eventually see a downside correction. So I still would not be surprised if we do see a push in towards this area of demand very, very soon. But obviously, I'm not going to be handling prematurely, so I'm not just going to start selling randomly over here on a bearish candle. No, what are we going to be looking for? Well, we're going to be looking for that bearish confirmation. How do we get that bearish confirmation? Well, at the moment, we're just following the overall order flow. So this is your sell before the buy. Obviously, we're referring to the last sell before the buy candle. This is now your area of demand. This over here is currently your fractal low. If we break that fractal low, that validates this supply zone, and I will then look for that further downside. If we just react, push up higher in towards this supply zone number 2, then we just wait and we continue to look for longs on the lower time frame until we reach that area of supply zone number 2. Then obviously we'll look for new fractal structure to see if that shifts. If it still doesn't shift, we just follow the overall order flow and we could start moving up even higher in towards these fresh areas of supply over here at the top. So that's my game plan for euro dollar at the moment. Yeah, I mean, we have overall order flow which is bullish. We're just following the overall sell before the buys. Yesterday, a very nice trading opportunity on the lower time frame arose, but you can just follow price in towards the upside. So that's euro dollar. Now moving on in towards dollar index. So dollar index also did what we were looking for. Obviously, our protected high was the high of that bullish candle over here. This was our area of supply. This was the buy before the sell. So what we did is we broke the fractal low, we pull back, and we push back down again. As simple as that. Works every single time. So this is the demand zone number 1. This is demand zone number 2. Obviously, we're now reacting to demand zone number 1 if the bullish intentions are real, because the dollar index is bullish from this low in towards this high. We have this descending corrective price action, which more often than not results in bullish price action. I'll be looking to see, okay, do the bulls now step in towards the market on the dollar index? Then what I'll be looking for is pretty much a break of the high over here. If we get a high break over there, that means a shift in the overall fractal structure. And then obviously I'll be looking for continuation on the dollar index in towards the upside. So that's that for the dollar. Moving on in towards Aussie dollar. So over here we have Aussie dollar. What are we looking at? Well, Aussie dollar is very, very messy. As we can see, yesterday we broke the fractal low over here. We pulled back in towards the highs, didn't really see any reaction at all. We broke this fractal high over here. So this is your fractal high, and now this is your area of demand. We're just ranging on Aussie dollar. We've now taken pretty much the low of the range. If you zoom in towards the lower time frame over here on the 1 hour, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It's just very rangy inside this box from that high in towards this low it was. So what I'm now waiting for is just to see, okay, what are the actual intentions? Not really focusing too much on Aussie dollar. It does still look good to move up higher, obviously. But if we do really want to see those bullish intentions and the overall daily is bullish from this low over here in towards this high, and we're inside the extreme, you would expect more bullishness from price. Same goes for the 4 hour. You would like to see more bullishness from price if you actually want to take those, let's say, high probability longs. So therefore, Aussie dollar doesn't really hold my focus, but obviously we do expect higher prices as we are inside 4 hour extreme and the daily extreme as well. Meaning this is your swing low, this is your swing high, and you're all the way in the bottom of that swing range. So pretty much like even below the 786 fib, that's why you kind of expect it to move up higher. But Aussie dollar for me is just ranging, so it could move any direction today. But for now, this is our area of demand. So if you do want to take longs, look for a long inside of this zone. Now moving on in towards pound dollar. So pound dollar over here is still continuing up higher. Again, very ascending price action. And why am I so wary when it comes to ascending price action? Well, as we can clearly see, the exact form of price action, but then a little bit bigger, also occurred here. Ascending corrective, then what happens? we crash in towards the downside. Now again, ascending corrective, what should happen is a correction in towards the downside because of the fact that there's a lot of liquidity growing underneath this trend line. So I am looking for that for the downside, but what do I need for that? I need a shift in market structure. This is currently my 4-hour fractal low. Yes, I have been mentioning for some time now since we reached this area of supply that we could start seeing further downside. But as we can see, we've just been following the overall order flow in towards the highs. Every single time the sell before the buy has been holding, and it has been causing price to continue in towards the highs. So I'm not selling, so I'm not losing. When do we have the potential then to make profit off a short of pound dollar? That is when we see a shift in market structure. That is this trade over here, pull back, push down, and then we're obviously going to be targeting this zone over here. If we do continue up higher and we just react to this area of demand, then obviously this supply zone number 2 is going to be our next target. So moving on from pound dollar in towards Kiwi dollar. So Kiwi dollar broke down lower, currently reacting to this area of supply. For me, this was a break of structure, so pullback and now continuation. I mean, pound dollar or Kiwi dollar, excuse me, has just facilitated a break of structure over here on the daily time frame. So what I'm looking for pretty much after a daily BOS is obviously a pullback in towards the highs, in towards this buy before the sell over here. That's what I'm looking for on Kiwi dollar. But what do we need from that? Well, we need a lower time frame trend shift. So what I'm looking for is a potential break of this high over here. Once that high goes, or this fractal high goes, then I expect further upside. Until this fractal high over here and the swing high over here is respected, we just continue shorting Kiwi dollar in towards the downside. So that's Kiwi dollar. Now gold, because gold moved absolutely stunning yesterday. As we can see, we've got a break of structure over here on the 4-hour. So then what do we expect after break of structure on the 4-hour? We expect a pullback. So when do we expect a pullback? When we tap in towards demand and when we have a lower time frame trend shift. So what happened yesterday is obviously we had this demand zone number 1, reaction, eventually we broke it. What was the supply zone that broke that demand zone? That was this supply zone over here. What do we see? We see a perfect tap in towards that supply and then a crash down in towards this demand zone. And as pretty much drawn in yesterday's video, we get a push in and we get a push out. So some beautiful trades to be taken over there on gold in towards the upside after tapping in towards this demand zone. So for now, what has happened is that we've broken the overall fractal high over here, meaning that you have demand zone over here, a new one, a fresh one, from where we can look for additional longs in towards the upside to trade a further pullback in towards the highs, in towards, for example, this area of supply or this supply zone number 2 over here. So that's what I'm looking for on gold. Last of all, just want to mention a trade on dollar CAD. You guys should definitely check it out. It was a beautiful, beautiful trade over here after reaching this daily area of supply. And these are the kinds of trades I look for, reaching this daily area of supply. Rejecting the Fibonacci retracement levels. Now going in towards the 4-hour, how do we recognize that there's going to be downside continuation? Well, that is when we see a lower time from trend shift and we are in supply. So we're in supply. What do we get over here? We get a fractal break of the overall structure in towards the downside. So we break, push in towards the downside, pull back in towards that supply zone over here. And then what happens after is that we crash in towards the downside further and further. So how do we know that we're going to continue crashing in towards the downside? Well, that is by following the overall order flow. So every single time we have a buy, sell, tap in, boom. Then again, buy, sell. What happens? Tap in, boom. So every single time when you trade, just follow the overall order flow and your trading will become much more simpler. So thank you guys for watching. Wish you a fantastic day. If you have any questions whatsoever, make sure to join the Discord link description. The link is in the description down below. Wish you all a fantastic day and we will speak soon. Thanks, guys.